Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Okay, so you can see that on my sketch page here I have some groupings of spheres. So I have a large, a medium, and a small one. And then I have another one over here with a slightly different configuration. And then again over here, and then I started one over here. So here's the thought process behind this exercise. I'm going to take a large, medium, and small sphere and I'm going to create a creature from it. Now those alignments of spheres can touch each other or they can be spread apart, however you want to do this. Just grab your pencils, grab your sketchbooks, and doodle along with me. This won't take very long. If you're impatient or if you are a beginner and you don't really know a lot about animals, anatomy, and maybe you've never drawn creatures before in your life, well, this might change everything for you. As you can see here, it's not very fancy. It looks like just a bunch of bubbles. And that's exactly what it is. So we're going to make a big one over here. Very lightly put in that sphere, and then you're going to put in the secondary one and then the third one. It's kind of look like a planetary system almost. But definitely keep the groupings somewhat separated from the opposite grouping, just so you don't confuse one of the spheres. Okay, you want to keep these together as best you can. So let's start up here. How would I bring these together to actually form a critter that we've never seen before? Well, this is when I would start connecting each shape by very light gestural lines. And the gestural lines meaning you're capturing movement. And then you can start adding in legs and tentacles. If you want this to be Lovecraftian, it's totally up to you. But the key is don't get bogged down with details. Right now I'm putting in eyeballs in this bigger head because it kind of looks like a spider. I don't really know how this is going to turn out, and I think that's the beauty of it. But you can see here as I'm throwing these lines in here, I have a sharp pencil, okay, and you want to keep these pencils sharp at all times. But what I'm also doing is I'm just allowing myself to throw lines down without becoming obsessed about where they go. And this is one of the best tactics to thumbnail sketching in general. So if you're facing an art block and you don't really know how to come up with ideas, or you're not feeling really confident about how to search for reference, this is a really good method, because when it comes to creature design, you can kind of get away with fidgeting some areas and hoping for the best, and it still works, mainly because it's a creature and we've never seen it before. So maybe it lives on a planet that doesn't have a lot of oxygen, or maybe it's a really weird bulbous creature like this and it lives on a helium planet and it's a totally different kind of gas, and maybe it's lighter, it floats, who knows. Like these little eyeballs right here, they could be representing spider-like eyes, or maybe they're extrasensory organs and they're not even eyeballs, who knows. Maybe it's a defense mechanism. That is pretty terrifying, actually. It's kind of like a mutated ant. And I don't know what else, but it's very alien, so that's my excuse. But what I will do is I'll take some of the pencil markings and kind of work up some value on that head right there. That spherical head that I started. So remember, I started with just 3 spheres, that's it. And that's all I'm using. So now I can build off those areas. It's almost as if it has turned into a plant. But obviously I'm not drawing a plant. But what I will do is put some rows of spikes going down the spine. I'm calling it the spine just because I guess this is the head. It's the most fun shape for me, right out there in the front. There's no eyelids, so there's no real, or eyebrows I should say, so there's no real chance for facial expressions, but that's okay, because we can still bring out the personality of this creature simply by the posture, the stance, the weight distribution. You can see here that the creature's leaning forward with its neck. And now that we have established some of the body, it looks like this whole area right here is a major bending point. So maybe that's the chest or the abdomen. And then here are the legs. Kind of spider-like, but not really. We do need to separate those areas because it's kind of blending in. So for example, a neat little trick that I like doing, if ever I have a tentacle, a spike, a tooth, or something that's protruding from the creature that's relatively sharp, I will darken the tip of it and work up some lighter value as it moves into the body. What it does is it brings attention to the tip of it and it makes it seem finished, like it was intentional. It is intentional for me, but I'm just saying you don't want to feel like you haven't finished something. You want to move on quickly while still feeling confident about the thumbnail. You know what this needs? It does need some really crazy looking tentacles coming out of, or tongues coming out of that mouth. Okay, and another really cool thing to remember is if you do have tentacles, however you put them, make sure that you add a little bit of chaos into the design. So each tentacle, tongue, whatever it is coming out, they're all facing a different direction. You want to show movement within your creation so that it feels like it's a living, breathing thing on a 2D surface. That's key. All right, and then I don't want to just be boring with rounded feet, I guess you could say. So what I'll do is I'll put tiny little grabbers here, almost like beetle feet, like little insect feet, I guess. And then I'll start to put some value up on the legs. In here doesn't really matter to me, only because the face is the focal point. So notice how I'm applying the pencil going straight down instead of at an angle. If I do it at an angle, what I do is I create a flat spot on the graphite, and then I will start shading with that area, and I don't want to shade it. All right, and then I also don't want to go overboard with that, so I'll just leave it. And then since this is farther back in the background because of atmospheric perspective and the body maybe going through some mist or something, I'm going to put a very light shadow. It's the cast shadow underneath the body, like this, so that it feels like it's living on a real surface. And I'm just going to hit this with another direction here to smooth it out. There we go. Again, the selling point is the face, that absolutely disgusting face. So our right side is going to be the core shadow, and I'm just going to add some value up here. And I like shading in small rotating circles, because if you shade in a circle or a flattened circle, you know, like an elliptical shape, the movement of going up and then back and then back and then back will cover areas that you missed in the previous pencil strokes. So that's nice. All right, let's move on. This is pretty crazy looking. Okay, so we have this one up here. I don't want to do that. So why don't we combine these two first? Maybe it's curved like this, and then maybe this little rounded part can be, maybe that's the head. Hey, that would be kind of neat. So let's put, it's almost like a giant grub then. So maybe that's a stinger. That could be a stinger, and then tons of tiny little legs right here. Maybe it's like a little baby or larva. I don't know, that's kind of gross. Like small wing right there. Yeah, that looks more like it. So that's going to be one gnarly stinger. Oh man. Kind of looks like the stinger on an executioner wasp, if I've ever seen that. Ooh. I used to watch a lot of Coyote Peterson when he deliberately got stung by an executioner wasp. So apparently on the Schmidt pain index, it's even worse than a bullet ant now. Of course, you got the velvet ant, you got the tarantula hawk wasp, you got all those very, very painful bites from insects and stings. Well, that one didn't take very long. I think it was because, you know, there was no real perspective. Nothing was coming at us, but it has given us a really interesting silhouette. I mean, the butt of this thing is massive. So maybe that's where all the venom is stored. And if we want to draw attention to that area, I'm just going to darken this up a little bit. Maybe we can put some stripes in there, like what's on a bumblebee. There we go. Also, the other reason why it's good to darken up the tips of appendages and, you know, tentacles and anything along those lines is because when you shade around it, have nice coating of graphite. That darker graphite that's sudden, it jumps out at us and it looks very 3D. There we go. So let's just darken that head, and then I'm just going to use back to back to back oval shapes, like I was telling you how I was shading this area in the core shadow. There we go. That's pretty nice. And then I think to add some deadly design right here, we're going to put a row of spikes going down the hunchback, just because that hunchback area is more prominent. Anytime I see a hunchback, I usually put, like if it's a werewolf or something furry, I'll put a bigger tufts of fur there or hair. There we go. This is so much fun. All right, and let's not forget this little fella over here. I'm going to say fella because I'm going to try really hard not to make this one look as deadly. As a matter of fact, you all are going to witness me do something incredibly rare. I'm going to try to make something look cute. If I fail, I'm not going to edit it out. So I really don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to try to draw big eyes. Oh my, oh, I don't know what just happened. Oh no, this might work. Okay, we'll put like a little nose right there, and then eyes like this. Okay, he's like a cute, creepy thing. I don't know if this is even gonna work, but it's almost. Oh man, I think I just made a blooper. Comment below what I should name this thing. It's almost like it's cute, but it's not. But I think it needs bigger ears. Maybe it's a creature that is disguising itself as something adorable, but it's really looking at you like it absolutely hates you, and it wonders why you're standing there looking at it. You know, like it really wants to do something. Okay. That's what it needed. It needed those goofy those little teeth right there, and then maybe like a cone head. Yeah, see? See? Told y'all. It might be a complete failure, but you know what? I tried. It's all about the eyelids too. You know, like the eyeballs and everything. If you make stuff look cute around those places, you'd be surprised what you can pull off. It's kind of like Shrek, you know? There we go. Okay. Hey, that's not too bad. I mean, honestly, if I just put some padding on the feet here, like the toes, and then have like one big toe right here, because it's not anything on Earth, and maybe like a small claw. There we go. Oh, look, it's like a little pig creature from another dimension, and it, you know, the poor thing probably was abandoned, and it just wants to find a home. There we go. I don't know, comment below, see if I have potential in drawing anything cute, or if I should just stay to totally horrific and demonic stuff from sci-fi horror. You know, I might have a career change here. Okay. I'm not really excited about that, but I did want to step out of my comfort zone. I think I was successful 80% of the time. Maybe there's some stuff that works here. Maybe not, but let's move on. I want to move on to this one down here. If you're enjoying this, then that's all that matters. Just that you can take a sketchbook that you probably haven't touched in a while, and you can doodle stuff without thinking too hard. That's what I want you all to do. This is what I want you to accomplish. Because, you know, whenever we're doodling, we tend to worry too much about what goes into the sketchbook, and that's not what needs to happen. What needs to happen is that you're progressing at your own speed, and you're not drawing to impress anybody. You're drawing to improve your own abilities so that, you know, the actions speak for themselves. I like this one, actually. It's kind of like a praying mantis, but with fins if it swims. So I'm just going to add some extra ones down here. So non-deadly ends of hands and feet, because like back here it almost looked like the tail of a poodle. Okay, so let's just do that. Yeah, it's like a little pet. That's kind of cool. And I just realized that half that drawing the entire time was off camera. I'm so sorry, everybody. I get so caught up in my sketches, and I get, you know, my mind just gets fixated on them, that I tend to forget to look at the camera and be like, is this actually in frame? Like, I don't know. But there we go. So notice how I'm just floating from sphere to sphere and connecting them, you know, with imagining there's a chest cavity there, or hands or feet. Okay, I just put like tiny little fingers in there, like really fat tufts of hands. The eyeball, I am going to put an eyelid in there. There we go. It really is like a praying mantis. So I think maybe on our left, I'll just put in that little core shadow right here. There we go. If you found it enjoyable today just watching me, if you've never been to my channel before and you happen to stumble upon it, comment below. Let me know if you actually whipped out a sketchbook for the very first time, or if you're a seasoned artist and it helped reinvigorate some of your lost enthusiasm, you know, because of life taking over. Yeah, I totally understand, but I would love to hear about it. I'm running a private mentorship now. Please email me at bobbyrebholz@gmail.com. I'm going over the very basics, the fundamentals of drawing. This is something I've been teaching for more than a decade now. So not the fancy creature stuff, not super duper shading and anything like that. It's cubes, cones, cylinders, and spheres, line weight, line quality, lighting, perspective, the fundamentals that almost every artist skips, and then they wonder why they can't get any jobs or get freelance. So I'm going to help you with that. The other thing that I do want to mention is signups are going on right now, early signups for my online creature design for film and games course. So that starts in mid to late April. I don't remember the exact dates, but you can check on the website, check the links in the description, as well as the pinned comment. Also, we have a Discord. So please join our Discord, Creature Design Workshop. No, you do not have to be just a creature designer. That is where all the fun happens, because you can share all the doodles that you make, good or bad, and share them with the community, get feedback if you have school projects, if you're looking for motivation, if you're looking for guidance. You know, everybody's there to help you, and it's been such a fun ride watching that Discord grow. I think we're at 6,500 members. I don't even know anymore, but the moderators help me with that. But anyway, everybody's welcome. Just keep it civil, and we're here to learn. So thanks everybody for tuning in. I love you being here. You guys have just been phenomenal in helping me grow this channel to where it is today, and it just keeps going. So every day I look at it and I'm just like, man, I know I shouldn't focus on that kind of stuff, but it's kind of hard not to when you're posting and, you know, trying to make stuff that resonates with all artists. Okay, look at that thing. It's like a cordyceps. Didn't even know. So before I sign off here, I want you guys to copy this right here, this array. Draw a large one, draw a medium one, draw a small one, and I'm not going to finish it. You will. So join the Discord, show us what you did, or just tell us in the comments what you did, and then I'd be happy to see, you know, read about it, hear about it, all that fun stuff. All right, until next time, everybody. Thank you. Peace.